Hello guys, what's going on? I am back with another video once again for you guys, and today I'm going to be making a ranting video. Now this is my second rant of 2021. My first rant that I made this year so far, I made that yesterday. That was a rant on 2020. I ended up posting it to YouTube 2 times. The first time I posted it to YouTube, later on, I eventually removed that one because I just felt like, my first retake of that rant, wasn't really good. There was some stuff I left out of that rant that I wanted to put in. So I just removed that rant and I redid it and then posted that rant to YouTube. So yeah, that's my first rant I made of 2021. Now, this time, again, this is my second rant of 2021. This is going to be a rant on getting yelled at. Now, I'm pretty sure we all can't stand when we get yelled at, You might be doing something wrong, you'll get yelled at, You might just get yelled at for no reason. You might be doing something that's bothering another person, so instead of them being nice, they're going to yell at you in a rude way, I can't freaking stand that crap, There's been, quite a few times in my life where I've gotten yelled at before. And I'll tell you a couple times. One time, this past summer, July 21st, 2020, I was making a fire alarm video, me and my friend Colin. And the video took place on the back porch, and, I was making a video with my System Center Spectral Advanced Horn Strobe. And, during the end, it was set on the high volume, and the upstairs neighbor yelled, "Knock off the noise!" And then I said to him, "Alright, I'll turn it down." Then he's like, "Now!" Like, freaking God, that's no way to talk to somebody. You don't just yell at a person like that just because they're being loud. I understand, because he was in a bad mood that day. But still, number one, he didn't have to take it out on me. And number two, he could have said it nicely. He could have said, "Hey, that's a little loud. Can you please at least, maybe turn it off or just, turn it down a little bit?" He could have been like that instead of freaking yelling, "Knock off the noise!" Like, freaking God. Like, fucking asshole. Freaking yell at me, douchebag. Then, the second time he yelled was September 28th, 2020. Now, this time he wanted to go in the basement, and it was locked, so, I heard him yell, "Unlock the goddamn cellar door!" And then my mom freaking screamed back at him, "You don't talk to me that way. That door is locked for safety purposes, so no one breaks in, And after that, he damn well kept his mouth shut, boy. Don't yell at my mom. Don't yell at her. Don't yell at me. If he said it nicely, then maybe I would have unlocked the door for him. You don't gotta be a douchebag. Freaking seriously. Learn how to be nice to people. It's freaking unacceptable. And then another time I got yelled at. Now this time, I didn't get yelled at this time by my upstairs neighbor, but this time I got yelled at by my Uncle Steven. I remember, this was back in April 2019, and, I was hungry. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, but I was pretty hungry. I wanted to go downstairs and get something to eat, so, I was getting ready, putting my shoes on, and stuff, and, I wasn't even being loud at all. I was actually being really quiet, because I knew, downstairs, my uncle was trying to sleep, so I was respecting him. However, as I was putting my shoes on, I was getting ready to go down. I suddenly hear him yelling, "Hey, you're being so loud! Go to the damn bed and turn the fucking TV off!" My God, don't freaking yell at me. After that, I didn't even go downstairs. And he woke up my mom, too, not to mention. Freaking, you don't yell at people. You don't treat them like that. I understand if someone's... First off, I wasn't even being noisy. I was literally being quiet because I knew that he was trying to sleep. So why the hell did he gotta freaking complain for? I wasn't even doing nothing wrong. He's just being a dick. That's the kind of person that he is. He's rude to people. I got yelled at by him and the stupid upstairs neighbor. Like, that's called a lack of respect, and that's not okay. Like, you show people respect, and they'll show you respect, you know? Freaking, there's some more times I got yelled at by my mother, when I, was doing something wrong, or, maybe I'm doing something that she doesn't want me doing. I think we've all been there before, where we've gotten yelled at. And, when I get yelled at, like, I cry easily, because I'm a sensitive person, I don't cry when I'm yelled at by my mom, obviously, because I'm used to her yelling at me. But, when I'm yelled at by a person, that never yells at me or whatever, then I'll probably cry, like, like, Don yelled at me, the stupid upstairs neighbor, knock off the noise now! And, I was crying after that, I wasn't shown crying in the video there, but I was crying afterwards, off camera. Like, freaking seriously, like, don't freaking yell at a freaking person. Like, do not yell at them. You might be in a bad mood, but don't take it out on them. Don't take out your anger on somebody. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, we're all mad at sometimes. We get angry. We're not in a good mood. Something happens that makes us upset. But do not ever take out your anger on a person. That is never okay to do that. Like, that's what my stupid upstairs neighbor did. Instead of maybe just minding his own business, or, being nice, he just chose to be mean about it. He yelled at me. And that was definitely unnecessary. It's not how you treat a person. And, again, my uncle, he yelled at me. My Uncle Steven, because he's a rude person, I've talked about him before. Again, he yelled at me. I wasn't even making noise, but he still yelled at me because he thought I was making noise. Probably because even though I was walking really quietly because I was upstairs, the floor, makes squeaky noises, so he probably yelled about that. Like, come on! Like, don't fucking yell at me. Seriously. At least be nicer to me about it. Like, don't be rude to me. We weren't even allowed to do stuff there anymore. We couldn't eat food in the room, we couldn't vacuum, all that bullshit stuff. Like, come on. It's fucking stupid. But the main point of the video, I can't stand getting yelled at, freaking, there's a lot of other times I got yelled at. I'm trying to remember here. There were some times I got yelled at in school before, this was when I was young, though, and probably, last time I ever got yelled at in school was probably, like, kindergarten. I never really got yelled at after that. Maybe in first grade I got yelled at, not because I was misbehaving, just because I got yelled at. Like, come on. I'm sensitive. Don't freaking yell at me. And, not only that, I don't just cry when I get yelled at. I also cry when I'm told to not do something. Like, for example, let's say I'm, maybe trying to think of something here. Maybe I'm in school and I touch something I'm not supposed to touch. The teacher might be like, let's say I'm touching something like right over here. And suppose I'm in school right now and, I'm touching something, the teacher doesn't want me to touch it, so I touch it. Then the teacher's like, and hey, you don't touch that, That'll make me cry a little bit right there, Like, I understand you don't want me to touch something, but, just it makes me cry or whatever, It's how I am, Don't call me a wuss, don't tell me I'm weird. But I'm a sensitive person, I cry whenever I'm yelled at. I cry whenever I'm told not to do something. It's like, come on. Definitely yelling at a person is unacceptable. Again, if they're continuously not listening to something, then I get it's okay to yell at them. But, sensitive people like me, we should, why yell at a person like me, Like, I'm sensitive. I cry very easily, And there are even a couple times where my uncle, he didn't yell at me this time, but, I just told you the part where he yelled at me, but there's another time where he just told me not to do something and it made me cry. Like, come on, But yeah, he didn't have to be a douchebag when he yelled at me, though. He could have been nice about it. He could have said, hey, you're being a little too loud. Like, can you please maybe quiet down a tiny bit? Man, I'm trying to sleep. Thank you, bro. He could have been like that. But no, he decided to be a loser. Like, come on. It's not how you treat a person. It doesn't matter what mood you're in. Doesn't matter if you're trying to sleep. It's like, and there was another time where he yelled because, I remember one time our cat Tango, like, it was like, I remember this was like 6 o'clock in the morning one time. We were living at my Uncle Steven and Joanne's house. And again, this is another time where my Uncle Steven yelled. He yelled at me and my mom this time. I remember, our cat Tango, like, I had my radio plugged in, and Tango accidentally went on the radio, and he accidentally turned the radio on to full blast. Literally, he accidentally made the radio go, like, he turned it up all the way, and then, it woke me up like it was really loud. And then a couple seconds later, after I turned the radio down, obviously, Uncle Steven comes up and he's like, oh, what the hell is that? And then I said to him, oh, it was accidentally the radio. Tango accidentally turned on. And then he was like, oh my god, I'll fucking kill him. Like, seriously, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, my god, it was an accident, for crying out loud. And not only that, like, who the hell threatens to kill a cat? That's literally what my uncle said. He threatened to kill, like, our cat. Like, freaking, you can go to jail for doing that, Hello? You want to get arrested, you scumbag? Like, freaking seriously. You don't wish death on living things. That's not right. So that's how he was like, just because my radio, like, just because Tango accidentally made my radio turn on. He accidentally did it. It wasn't purposely done. Like, my uncle, he needs to learn how to be nicer about some things, Like, freaking seriously, like, learn how to show respect. And I just remembered, there's another time where I got yelled at in school. This is during gym class. You guys remember, when I talked about that freaking bald gym teacher? You can remember him? He's like freaking, he was mean, he was rude. One time in gym class, I was told not to do something, and it made me cry. I was trying to hold in the tears, obviously, because I didn't want people to see me crying. Because that would be embarrassing, Because basically, to avoid, my tears showing, I would try not to blink, And when I did blink, my tears would start to come down, and I would, do this, wipe my tears away and stuff, I would go like that, And it's kind of hard and embarrassing, because the freaking bald gym teacher, like, basically we were going over, like, he was going over something, and then he told me, hey, you're not supposed to do that. And then that's all it took, and I was crying, I was, again, I was trying my best to prevent people from seeing me crying. Obviously, I don't want people to see me crying. That's freaking embarrassing, And then there's another time where he was kind of mean to me, I was, trying my best to get into the locker room. I was kind of slow, but he said to me, let's go, get in the locker room now. Like, goddamn, you don't talk to a freaking person that way. And I was crying after that, too. There was tears coming out of my eyes. Like, seriously, do not talk to a person that way, Some people are slow. Like, don't freaking yell at them like that. That's not okay. That's unacceptable to treat a person like that. Seriously. And then, a person talked to, that bald gym teacher afterwards, and, he became way nicer after that, thank God. But still, I hated, when I had him in 7th grade, he was always mean and rude to all of us, Like, he would force us to do every single game. We had, like, the rock wall climbing, he made us do that. There was one game that he made us do, I didn't want to do it. He was like, you're doing this now! Like, goddamn! Like, freaking seriously. Freaking rude asshole. You don't talk to people like that. Seriously. Like, there's no reason why that's acceptable, Like, come on. Can't stand it when he yelled at me. So this is the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you agree. Give this a like. And, freaking... I can't stand getting yelled at. I can't stand getting told not to do something. It's literally all it takes for me to cry. You don't have to yell at me. You can just tell me not to do something, and that's all it takes, and I'll cry. Of course, you can yell at me too, and I'll cry. But again, all that it really takes is if you tell me not to do something, like, you know. But yeah, seriously, you know, like, don't yell at a person unless, you know, they're not really listening to you. If you tell them multiple times to stop doing something and they keep on doing it, they don't listen to you, then yeah, I get you can yell at them. But other than that, you know, if a person's sensitive to that, don't yell at them. You know, be nice to them. You know, if you're nice to them, they will listen, you know? But if you just yell at them, like, freaking, then they're gonna cry, you know? Like, it's not okay. It's not how you treat people. It just makes you ignorant and stupid when you treat people like that, you know? Again, my uncle yelled at me a couple times. My gym teacher yelled at me a couple times. You know, he told me not to do stuff. You know, my upstairs neighbor yelled at me. I told you all those stories in this video. Hope you enjoyed it. You know, I tried to make this rant, like, millions of times last year and even in 2019, but I failed. So I'm doing this rant now. Hopefully it's, you know, pretty good. You know, I did my best at this rant. So hope you enjoyed this. You know, please give this a like. Please subscribe if you have not done that already. I want to try to get 400, maybe even 500 subscribers this year. That's one of my goals. So please help me to get there, and hope you enjoyed this rant. You know, you can tell me in the comments below when you got yelled at if you want. You don't have to. It's your choice. But, I told you the times I got yelled at, you know, and how much I hate getting yelled at. Like, it freaking sucks, seriously. You know, like, I'm a freaking sensitive person, for crying out loud. Like, don't yell at me. It's not right. You know, I'm sensitive, you know. I cry at that, like, very, very easily. And one time, back in 6th grade, my case manager yelled at me, you know. And freaking, I was crying after that, like, you know, I didn't want people to see me crying, so I tried my best not to blink, because that kind of keeps your tears in. But when I had to blink, you know, I, you know, went like this, so, like, you know, I was trying to, like, I didn't want people to see me crying, obviously, you know, because that's really embarrassing, you know, like, I don't want no one to see me crying, like, that's freaking embarrassing, you know. So yeah, those are all the times I got yelled at, you know? Like, it freaking sucks. Like, seriously, don't yell at sensitive people. You know? Like, only yell at people if you tell them multiple times to stop doing something and they don't listen, yeah. Then I get it's okay to yell at them. But other than that, if there's some sensitive people, do not yell at them, you know? That's not okay. You know? You know? My advice to everyone else, you know, if you don't want to get yelled at, you know, do your best to listen, you know, so you don't get told to not do something or whatever, you know. I don't know. You know, some people just yell at others because they're assholes, you know. You know, some people are in a bad mood and they yell, they take it out on other people because they're freaking douchebags. You don't ever do that. Like, you don't take out your anger on another person. That's never okay. That's what my stupid upstairs neighbor did, and I told you that in this video and in my upstairs neighbor rant that I made back in October of last year. But yeah, this is the video. You know, I can't stand getting yelled at. It freaking sucks so damn badly. There's not really any positive things about it. It just pretty much sucks. You know, like, you should never yell at a sensitive person, ever. You know. Even if they are doing something wrong, you know, just be nice to them about it, you know? Because they're sensitive. If you yell at them, then they'll cry. Like, that's exactly the kind of person that I am, you know? Alright, so this is the video. Hope you agree. Hope you enjoyed this rant. You know, getting yelled at freaking sucks. Can't stand when I get yelled at. You know, just, I hate it to the fullest. You know, and I hope it doesn't happen to me for a while, because if it does, it'll, you know, make me cry and piss me the hell off. So yeah, you know, have a good rest of your day, everybody, and hope you agree with this video. You know, hope you agree. I can't talk right. I'm really sorry. Just have a great day, everybody. You know, getting yelled at really does suck. I've mentioned all the times I got yelled at in this video, and you know, I mentioned why it sucks, and you know, just I don't like getting yelled at. I hate it. You know? Again, if it's my mom yelling at me, I don't really mind. But if it's someone else yelling at me, like, freaking, I hate that. You know, I'll cry. You know? So yeah, this is the video. You know, getting yelled at freaking sucks. Hope you agree with this. Hope you enjoyed it. Have an awesome rest of your day, everybody.